Hey guys, thanks for popping in. Hope you had a good or having a good holiday season. I'm still in costume here. Make sure I can deliver presents. I like doing these spontaneous lessons. I make a lot of notes on ideas for lessons and don't always make them. And then I suddenly think of a spontaneous thing that I think would be helpful. So here's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to look at two chords under the premise that in almost all music, you're only moving between two chords. The one chord, whether it's major or minor, and the five chord, whether it's minor in diatonic or change to the seventh chord. Okay, so you should know your major and minor chord sequence, diatonic chord sequence, right? In C, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, half diminished or diminished triad. Back to the major, right? So the five chord is actually minor, but we often turn it to a seventh chord. It just sounds amazing, right? So minor and then a seventh. So we raise the third, make it a major chord. That's from harmonic minor, right? So three minor scales, only one major scale. Now let's get back on track. So I'm gonna do a G minor to a D minor, and that's it. And then think of it as the five chord as a D7, right? However you want to do it. Now I'm going to show you each scale degree, how they match with each chord, right? So think of it like this. And I'll do different octaves, so you got to stay with me here. You got to know your fretboard a bit to follow this, right? So in G, the one, scale degree one, obviously works over G real well, all right? But it works over the five, but it's a sus4. Right? Right? So it can work, but you got to be careful. It's either got to go up or it's got to come down. Right? Okay? The two, it's an A. Obviously works real well over the D minor and the D7. It's the fifth. It's the ninth of G minor. Sounds great. Right, we hear Jimmy do that. Little wing. So it works on both, but it's part of the five chord. The three, well, that's the flat third. G, right? I'm playing a minor scale. B flat. That's the minor third of G. You better know that one, right? It's a good one. It's the minor third of the G. Can you play it over the D? Not so much. It's not really not a great tone. It will create a new chord. It will create the sound of a flat six chord, right? So avoid on the five chord. The next note, C. Well, that creates a minor seven on the five chord and it's the flat seven, right? On the seven chord. So when I said I created a minor seven, because it's a minor chord, and that's a flat seven, C, and then on the seven chord, it's still a flat seven, but it's a major chord. So great to resolve into that, right? You don't have to just hit the root on a lick, right? You could end on the seven, right? Now, how does it work on the one chord, the G? It's a sus. So, geez, I'm thinking Andy Summers, right? Roxanne, those last two chords. So it's pretty cool, but mostly it's a five chord tone. The five, D, it's in both chords. So you can just hang on a D chord, D notes over both the G and both the D equally well. Right? It's a real strong, stable tone. Moving on. Right? E flat. A little bit of gunk in my volume pot here. Damn Gibsons. So E flat. What's it good? Is it good on the G? Passing tone, right? You can't sit on it. It's actually a tone from the four chord. Can you play it on the five chord? Okay, so as a seven, yeah, it's a flat nine. Right? Can you play it on the minor? Less so. Less so. It's not great, you know. It doesn't really work. Flat 9 on minor. It's just a sound that's not very popular. So F. This is the natural minor scale. So F. Great over G minor, right? You could just hang on it. You don't have to resolve it. It's part of the chord. Be a minor 7 chord, right? How is F over D minor? It's the minor third. It's beautiful, right? On D minor, it's the minor third. How is it on a D7? It's still a minor third, but now you're clashing with the major third. So, right, you've got that real blues thing. If you want, you could play the F over the 7 chord for sure, right? And that brings us back to G. So maybe approach progressions like that in soloing. Don't just, you can blanket a chord progression with a lick, you know, and play the same lick over both chords, and likely it'll work. But targeting the tones of the chord is maybe a more melodic way to play, and you are thinking of where you're resolving more, right? So again, unedited. I'm gonna cut this at all. Just if that was helpful, please let me know. Please consider liking and subscribing, and asking for specific content. I'm happy to customize some of these lessons, these online things instead of my in-person lessons. And yeah, you guys have a good, happy New Year. And again, please comment, reach out. Thanks. Peace.